assembly number 1, and it's the week beginning the 29th of November. Gosh, exciting. That must mean that it's soon going to be, that's right, December. Oh, my favourite month. Oh, it's getting very chilly. I'm actually in the hall today, and I've kept my hat on and I've kept my jacket on because it's very, very chilly. Oh, right, okay. Now, looking around, can you see something? Yes, that's right. All your lovely Christmas colouring competitions are coming in, and they are good. Well done, everybody. But we still have some space for some more. So hopefully, fingers crossed, you will be able to bring yours in soon. How exciting. Right, it's our routine time. I just lift up here. We can see, what's the time, Mr. Wolf? That's right. Have a little look. Oh, I can see that the long hand, that's the minute hand, is nearly on the 9. And I know that that means it's 1:45. 1:45 what though, Mrs. Lee? Well, the shorthand, that's the hour hand, is in between the 11 and the 12. In fact, it's nearly on the 12. So I know that that means it's 1:45. Oh, my tummy's rumbling. What else? Well, we're still in the month of November, so we've still got time to say in Urdu, Assalamu alaikum. All right, now, in a couple of days, it will change to December, and I know that Mrs. Turner will be changing our display, so it won't be Urdu anymore. But our Makaton sign of the week has changed. Okay, our Makaton sign of the week is to begin, to start. Oh, look at it carefully. It actually even explains it to you. It says, upper hand makes downward twist behind the other. Right, so we're going to bring our thumb down like this. Okay, down. Right, let me practice that. Okay, are you ready? Okay, so we are thinking about start, to begin. And you might be thinking, why, Mrs. Lee? Well, remember I said at the beginning of December, it's nearly December. Well, we've nearly got the first Sunday in December coming up, and that means that it is the beginning of Advent. What does that mean, Mrs. Lee? Well, Advent is a really special time of the year for Christians because it's the beginning of the celebrations leading up to, yes, that's right, Christmas. In fact, there are 4 Advent Sundays before Christmas. How exciting. So, depends when you watch this, if the first Advent Sunday has happened or not. Anyway, how exciting. Now, what else? I know. Now, do you remember these? We've got these posters around our school, haven't we? Now, we know this one. This is the 7 golden rules, and they're really, really important to keep everybody, that's right, happy, and to keep them safe. Now, we also have this poster around school with the British values, and we've talked about these a lot. And today I'm going to talk about this one, mutual respect. Now, this is the time where we get a bit tired, and sometimes we might fall out with each other. Oh dear, that's not a good thing, is it? But we know a word, don't we? If somebody's doing something that you don't like and it's upsetting you, it's making you feel sad, or maybe it's making you feel a bit angry, can you remember what it is? Oh yeah, that's right, it's the word stop. Now, if you hear the word stop and somebody's hand comes close to you and they're saying stop, then whatever you're doing is not making them very happy, and you do need to, don't do it anymore, just stop it, all right? Now, if you do that, you are keeping a British value, which is mutual respect. So it's about, you don't want me to do something because it's upsetting you, all right, I'm going to stop doing that. Because at the end of the day, I don't want you to be sad, I don't want you to be angry, all right? So, now it's a tricky one because sometimes somebody might be playing a game that you don't want to play anymore, but they're not making you feel sad with the game and they're not making you feel angry, it's just you don't want to play it. Now, you can say to them, stop, but they might not listen because they're enjoying the game and it's not hurting you. So you're going to have to use respect, and you're going to have to think, okay, well, they're playing that game. I don't want to play it, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Does that make sense, children? It's a tricky one, respect. It's one we have to learn. And it takes us a long time to learn how to respect people. I'm going to tell you a story now. And it's about a family, and they didn't respect one of the members of their family. If you look really closely at the picture, it's called Piggybook, and it's by a famous author called Anthony Browne. And there's a child, and there's another child, and there's a man, and there's the mum. She doesn't look too happy. They've all got smiles on their faces. But she doesn't look too happy. I wonder why. Should we find out? Okay. Right, good listening ears, good looking eyes. Super. Brilliant. Here we go. Mr. Piggot lived with his two sons, Simon and Patrick, in a nice house with a nice garden and a nice car in a nice garage, and inside the house was his wife.
Hurry up with that breakfast, dear,
he called every morning before he went off on his very important job. Hurry up with that breakfast, Mum, Simon and Patrick called before they went off to their very important school. What are you thinking? I think that's nice. I didn't hear the word please, did you? No. After they left the house, Mrs. Piggot washed all the breakfast things, made all the beds, vacuumed all the carpets, and then she went to work. Gosh, she must be tired already. All those jobs to do, all on her own. Hurry up with the meal, Mum, the boys called every evening when they came home from their very important school. Hurry up with that meal, old girl, Mr. Piggot called every evening when he came home from his very important job. Old girl? Look at his shadow. What does he look like? He's not behaving very nicely, is he? I don't think we'd want him in our school, would we? Well, as soon as they had all eaten, Mrs. Piggot washed the dishes, washed the clothes, did the ironing, and then she cooked some more. Is anybody helping her? Doesn't look like it, does it? Looks like they're watching the television. One evening, when the boys got home from school, there was no one to greet them. Where's Mum? Demanded Mr. Piggot when he got home from work. She was nowhere to be found. On the mantelpiece was an envelope, and Mr. Piggot opened it, and inside was a piece of paper, and it said, "You are pigs." Oh my gosh. It's got a funny hand. That's not a hand. That's a trotter. Oh my gosh, look.
But what should we do? Said Mr. Piggot.
They had to make their own meal. It took hours and it was horrible. And next morning they had to make their own breakfast, and it took hours and it was horrible.
Look at them.
Does Mr. Piggot look the same? The next day, and the next night, and the day after that, Mrs. Piggot was still not there. Nobody could find her. Mr. Piggot, Simon and Patrick tried to look after themselves. They never washed the dishes. They never washed their clothes. They never washed their house. It became like a pigsty. When is Mum coming home? The boys squealed after another horrible meal.
How should I know?
Mr. Piggot grunted. And they all became more and more grumpy. Look at the clothes. Look at the state of them, children. Oh, dear. One night, there was nothing in the house for them to cook.
Well, I just have to root around and find some scraps,
snorted Mr. Piggot from behind the sofa. And just then, Mrs. Piggot walked in. Please come back, they snuffled. So Mrs. Piggot stayed, and Mr. Piggot washed the dishes And Patrick and Simon made their beds. And Mr. Piggot did the ironing. And they all helped with the cooking. They actually enjoyed it. Look at Mum's face. She was happy too. Do you know what she did? She went outside. She mended a car. Now, at the beginning of that story, do you remember that sign? At the start of that story, were the family, Mr. Piggot and the two boys, were they showing respect? Were they showing respect to Mrs. Piggot by shouting at her and telling her to do things and never saying please, and never saying thank you? They weren't, were they? She needed to say stop. What she did was she walked away, didn't she? She wasn't happy. Sue missed her. I hope that when you're at home with your grown-ups that you say please, and you say thank you, and you think about all the lovely things that they do. And you think about all the grown-ups in our school who work so hard to make Hertford Infant School so lovely. I hope that you say thank you to them. When you come and get your lunch, I hope that you say thank you to the ladies who are working behind the kitchen counter serving your food. You're saying please and you're saying thank you. And that way, we can all have respect for each other. And if somebody's doing something that you really don't like and it is making you feel sad or angry, you say stop. If you hear that word, you see that hand and it's being aimed at you, and you know that that person is feeling sad and upset, then you need to back it in, as my mummy would used to say to me. Back it in now, no more. Okay, so I'm going to be looking with my good-looking eyes to make sure everybody is showing respect to each other. Right, well, thank you for showing some respect to me and listening so carefully to my assembly. Lots of things to take in there. You might want to watch this video again at home, which you can do because it's on our YouTube site. All right, this is a really lovely book, isn't it? And I'll leave it in my office and you can come and have a look at it because some of the pictures are quite funny if you look really closely at them, like at the shadows of Mr. Piggot, how he turned more and more into a... That's right, a pig. Okay, right. We're going to finish off now. Close our eyes. Help me to do the things I should, to be to others kind and good, in all my work and all my play, to grow more loving every day. Bye, children.